So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So I hope you all are aware that every Sunday at 8 p.m. we are having this static GK discussion. And right now it is Sunday. So let us begin with today's class. Okay, the slide is gone. Let me add what happened with the slide. Just hold on for a second. Yes. I hope it is visible now. Okay. Let us move on. So we were somewhere here, I think in the last class, right? Am I audible, visible? Okay. So we're talking about the idea of fundamental duties. We have taken it from where? Right. This was the question, the last question we discussed in the last class. And the answer was USSR, that is a Soviet Union. Okay. And it got collapsed in 1991. And now we are having what we call it as Russia. Okay. That is what you should be knowing about. Is it clear? Okay. Now, from USA, anything which we have taken? कोई बता सकता कुछ भी जो हम लोगों ने यूएस से लिया? Just wanted to know. Anyone? Anything that we have taken it from USA? Before you proceed, please help me clear it out. Yes, Manya Tiwari asked the cloud. So we have taken fundamental light. है ना, ये भी हम लोगों ने last class में discuss किया था, which is the most important thing. Yes, last class में discuss किया था fundamental rights or bill of rights we have borrowed from USA. है ना, so the fundamental duties we have actually the concept of fundamental duties was not originally present. You know this? The concept of fundamental duties is in which part of the Indian Constitution, which article, and was it originally present? Originally present means when it was being fully enforced, that is on 26 January 1950. Was it there in the Indian Constitution? Yes, we have taken judicial review from USA right now. Part 4A, very good. Someone is writing, sir, part 4A is fundamental duty, right? What more thing? Articles, which article? Distributed asking sir, mosques any other question? No problem. Dekho, yeah, these are very important actually. Whatever we are discussing it in Sunday's class is very important. We have seen a lot of question directly in the main exam. Exam में हम लोगों ने question देखा है, final exam में. So please trust this first. Second thing is more about learning. Okay. Because of course, whenever you study, like especially with regards to GK and other things, है ना, still you will have actually a lot of new questions for you. Okay. So you have to keep on learning it. That is the main idea. But if you are getting like less marks in standard subject, for example, in maths, you should try to improve it if you are getting less marks. है ना? Because of course, उसमें knowledge based question नहीं होता, solve करना होता है ना? Legal का अगर basic concepts आपसे गलत हो जा रहा है, या you just analyze the marks and realize whether you have where is the problem. ठीक है? किस टाइप का क्वेश्चन आपका मिस कर रहा है ना? फॉर एग्जाम्पल करंट अफेयर्स मिस कर रहा है, लीगल में प्रॉब्लम है, कौन सा सेक्शन है प्रॉब्लम, दैट इज द मेन थिंग, व्हिच एस्पेक्ट यू आर मिसिंग, ट्राई टू इंप्रूव दैट एंड यू कैन डू द एनालिसिस बाय योरसेल्फ. रोक के जैसे आप मॉक देते हो, लोग क्या करते हैं, खरी आंसर देख लेते हैं, 1 का 2 का 3 का सी और रट लिया कि अच्छा ये सही है ये गलत है. यू एनालाइज इट, यू गिव टाइम टू दैट कि व्हाई आई गॉट लेस मार्क्स, व्हिच सेक्शन वाज पुअर, आई परफॉर्म पुअर एंड ट्राई टू इंप्रूव दैट. तो अपने से आप बना के करोगे तब. ठीक है, इज इट क्लियर? Someone was asking with regards to poor low marks in mock. That's why I was explaining it. Okay, so fundamental duty we have taken at part 4A, and article 51 capital A talks about it. Initially, actually, it was not mentioned originally. It was added later on by which constitutional amendment? Which constitutional amendment added fundamental duties? Please tell me. Yes, we have taken judicial review from USA, right? So it is 42nd Amendment added the concept of first fundamental duty. So 10 fundamental duties were added. The entire new part was created, Part 4A, capital A, and Article 51, capital A new article was inserted. Hai na? Later on, yes, 86th Amendment say we have seen actually the 11th one. 11th fundamental right was added by 86th Amendment. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. So fundamental duties are actually very important. Hai na? Hai na? Yes, and 42nd Amendment, someone has rightly said, it is also called as mini constitution. And a mini constitution. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The ideals of justice in the preamble has been taken from where? I have told you even in last year also that preamble is very important in GK section, and the question came in legal from preamble. The ideals of justice in the preamble have been taken from where? Has been taken from where? UK, USSR, Australia, Ireland. इसी तरह क्वेश्चन आया था last year that which of the following justice is not mentioned in the preamble. तो आपको रटा हुआ होना चाहिए. I've told you to remember all those keywords. And I remember also कि I have told you this. अच्छा पहले ये बताओ, which type of justice is mentioned in the preamble? कौन सा justice mention है? And I've told you actually when you read preamble, it talks about justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, JLF, right? Which type of justice is mentioned? 3 types of justice. नहीं, complete justice तो 142 में लिखा है ना, complete justice के बारे में, Supreme Court, Article 142. In preamble, which type of justice is being talked about? वो 3 कीवर्ड है, और यही पूछा गया था एग्जाम में लीगल सेक्शन में. सोशो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल, वेरी गुड. सोशो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल. Yes, CLAT aspirant Rohi Verma, you follow, right? Bhavya City, very good. And I've told you, अब आपको सोशो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल, अब बताओ क्या होगा आंसर? सोशल जस्टिस, इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस, पॉलिटिकल जस्टिस. कुछ याद आया? I've told you in earlier classes. Social justice, economic justice, political justice. देखो मेरे को रटवाना नहीं है, तो हम रट के बता देंगे 1 का 2 का B3 का C, आप नोट भी रट सकते हो. But I'm here to teach you to learn to remember the things in the examination hall. Yes, B, USSR, why? Yes, very good. मैंने आपको बताया था कि preamble है ये. Okay. Preamble में लिखा है justice, socio-economic, political. So मतलब social justice, economic justice and political justice. And I've told you whenever we talk about social justice, which ideology talks about social justice? Mostly the idea of socialism, which is one version of communism that was very much prevalent in Soviet Union. Because we have seen, देखो actually क्या है, first communist revolution in the world came where? है ना, कहाँ आया था? In which year? 1917. I'm sure you must have heard Russian Revolution. Yes, very good. And then it led to the over a period of time establishment of Soviet Union, etc. and all. So the idea of socialism was very prevalent at that time. अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं modern Indian history का, because modern Indian history is also the favorite topic of CLAT these days. And I have told you we have a separate playlist. Go and watch all those modern Indian history classes. Vladimir Lenin was there. Very good. Now I have one question. The idea after Russian Revolution of 1917, the idea of socialism became very prominent in the entire world. And the young Turks or the young guys, we use the word young Turks also, Jawan log, Jawan ladke, or young students were very much inspired in the entire world, even in India. There was a very famous nationalist who was martyred. Yes. Very good. CLAT aspirant. You got the answer. Mr. Bhagat Singh, hai na? Shahid-e-Azam. He joined an organization, XYZ, that, and the name of the organization was later on changed. The word socialism was added in that. Which organization is being talked about? Yes, very good. CLAT aspirant Rohi Verma. We are talking about Mr. Bhagat Singh. उन्होंने एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम भी चेंज कर दिया था, उसमें सोशलिज्म वर्ड ऐड कर दिया था. Yes, Bhavya City. Very good. So it was Hindustan Republican Association association that was turned to be HSRA, Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. Yeah, है ना? HSRA, socialist word was added on the initiative of Mr. Bhagat Singh, है ना? So that's what you should know. Okay, so ये सब basic चीजें modern Indian history से भी सवाल आ रहे हैं nowadays, so you have to be very careful on that. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया, और मैंने आपको बताया है, प्लीज 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 आफ्टर द क्लास इज ओवर रोट लर्न दीज टर्म्स, सॉवरेन, सोशलिस्ट, सेकुलर, डेमोक्रेटिक, रिपब्लिक, ये चारों रट लीजिएगा. Justice, which type of justice? Socio-economic, political. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Equality of status and opportunity. Fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual. Please rote learn these terms. ये जो सारे आए थे इस बार मॉक में, oh great, है ना? Please rote learn these terms because it is very important. ठीक है, 26th day of November 1949. तो ये जो कीवर्ड है इसको जरूर याद कर लीजिएगा. And again repeating it, we have seen questions. Okay, the idea of concurrent list, trade and commerce has been taken from where? We have borrowed from where? Australia. C is the right answer, right? So we have taken these things from Australia. Freedom of trade between states, है ना? I think if I'm not wrong, it is Article 301 as far as I remember, है ना? Concurrent list, provision of joint setting, Article 108, है ना? And some preamble terminology also, but concurrent list is the most important. Okay, in where will I find the discussion of concurrent list? Where in the Indian Constitution? Where will I find concurrent list? कहाँ मिशन लिखा मिलेगा आपको? Yes, 7 schedule. और एक और जगह मिलेगा, I think 246, Article 246 or somewhere talks about it, है ना? If I'm not wrong. Yes. Now, let's move on to the next one. Oh, Sarah, I'm very happy to see. Congratulations that you have got selected. And I'm very happy that I have been also I'm instrumental in helping you qualifying this exam. Very happy to see this. Great, awesome, and बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Actually, whenever a student comes and say कि I have got benefited from you, I feel very happy from inside, है ना? And only the person who is seeing, realizing, or reading it will realize the happiness that is there in the heart when someone see this. ठीक है, I'm very happy. बहुत अच्छा लगा. I hope my prayers and blessings to you that you will further succeed in your life in future, and not only to you, to everyone, whoever is watching, whoever is my student, सबके लिए, है ना? मेरी दुआएं हैं कि आप लोग भी अच्छा करेंगे इसी तरह. I'm very happy to see this. Great. Okay, let's move on. Which of the following talks about right to education? Which article? So basically it is, देखो इसमें बहुत सारी बात है. What is the answer? The answer is option B, Article 21 capital. इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएंगे. पहले जो इससे पहले वाला था ना, इसको मैं बता रहा था, थोड़ा सा ये बता देता हूँ. Article 246 when you read of the Indian Constitution, Article 246 of the Indian Constitution, when you read, it talks about 7th schedule. Okay. Now, so 7th schedule is read with Article 246. It talks about union list, state list, and concurrent list, है ना? And that has been detailed explained here. कई बार बच्चे पूछते हैं, sir, what is the schedule? है ना? Sometimes there is a question that is asked that what is the schedule of the Indian Constitution? Schedules, we have 12 schedules, but what is the idea behind this? Basically, sometimes the articles actually need a detailed explanation, and it will become bulky. So separate schedules were made. For example, in this article, if you keep on putting all the items of union list, state list, and concurrent list, the article itself will become very long. So that is why separately schedules were made. And the best answer is this. When you read Article 246, it says, read with 7th schedule. ठीक है, इसका ये मतलब होता है. It means, for example, let's say we write key where, if somebody is asking question, where can I find the concept of union list, state list, and concurrent list? So what will be your answer? You will say Article 246 read with 7 schedule. ऐसा लिखा जाता है. If you read the newspapers etc. या legal documents, you will find these types of terms. ठीक है, ऐसे लिखा था Article 246 read with 7 schedule. ठीक है, because that explanation of 246 or the detailed explanation or detailed concept is there in 7 schedule. Similarly, when we talk about defection, which law is there? Or not defection, I would say disqualification of MPs. Disqualification of MPs is there. It is mentioned in which article of the Indian Constitution? पहले ये बताओ. Yes, 52nd amendment. It's actually there in 10th schedule. Schedule तो बता दो. 52nd amendment was there. 52nd constitutional amendment 1985. It talked about which schedule? It inserted a new schedule. We had originally 9 schedules only. Now we are having 12 schedules. So this one is 10th schedule. ठीक है? Okay. Yes. Now, but disqualification of MPs was mentioned in one article of the Indian Constitution even before there was 10th schedule. But it did not talk about anti-defection law. It was talked about other reasons for disqualification. For example, you became an MP and later on it was found that you are not a citizen of India. In that case, you will be disqualified. Or because of other of the Constitution talking about disqualification of MPs. And what is that? कौन सा article था? Yes, very good. Article 102 for MPs and 121 is for MLAs. Sorry, 121, 191 is for MLAs. Okay, fair. So 102 of the Indian Constitution talked about disqualification of MPs because let's say a person is not a citizen, the person has committed some crime, etc., etc. Later on, this 102 नीचे में एक line है. In 102 it says disqualification because of 10th schedule. That is what it says. Because this was added later on about anti-defection law, that you can be disqualified also if you are switching sides, right? Because we have seen recently some switching, etc. However, there are some exceptions mentioned in 10th schedule. So basically, we are talking about this, that if someone is asking, in which article, where can I find in the Indian Constitution mentioning about disqualification of MPs because of defection? Because it is very much in the news. What will be the answer? आपसे ये पूछा जाए, if you are being asked, कहां संविधान में लिखा हुआ है डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ टेंथ शेड्यूल, है ना? However, there is a we have some exceptions also, like merger concept, 2/3 merger, that is also mentioned in 10th schedule, है ना? तो कभी पूछा जाए डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ एमपीज के बारे में, डिफेक्शन के कारण कहां मेंशन है, तो आप बोलोगे आर्टिकल 102 रेड विद 20 शेड्यूल. Is the class lagging? तो कभी पूछा जाए डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ एमपीज के बारे में, डिफेक्शन के कारण. Is it fine now? हाँ, बीच में थोड़ा सा फंस गया था. डिफेक्शन के कारण कहां मेंशन है, तो आप बोलोगे आर्टिकल 102 रेड विद 20 शेड्यूल. Is it fine now? अब उम्मीद है कि ठीक होगा, पता नहीं कैसे फंस गया सडनली. Okay. खैर, so we're talking about it. Now let's talk about right to education. ठीक है, अब देखो क्या होता है, राइट टू एजुकेशन की थोड़ा सा स्टोरी जानते हैं, लिटिल बिट. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फंडामेंटल राइट्स. फंडामेंटल राइट इज पार्ट 3, right? Part 3 is from article 12 to 35, right? Now, I'm sure you must be aware that Article 21 is the article that has been expanded the most by the Supreme Court. ये मैंने आपको बताया. Audio is not coming. Okay, please wait. What happened? Now, I'm sure you must be aware that Article 21 is the article that has been expanded the most by the Supreme Court. अच्छा एक मिनट. I'm joining again. Like there are some issues. Let me read. वेट करना, ड्रॉप मत करना, ठीक है. I'm rejoining it. Okay. पता नहीं क्या क्या हो जाता है यार. I hope this time there will not be an issue. उम्मीद करते हैं कि अब कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं होगा. Okay. Is everything fine? Is the slide visible? आवाज ठीक है सब? Is everything fine? Is everything fine? Okay. चलो, let's start. है ना? Sometimes there are a lot of problems. So we're talking about this. हम लोग क्या बात कर रहे थे? Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty. Yes? And I have told you that Article 21 has been expanded the most by the Supreme Court. सबसे ज्यादा जिसको explain ज्यादा किया गया open खोल करके वो है Article 21. Right? Now, next thing is Article 21 is right to life and personal liberty. ये है ना Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. Now, the Supreme Court said right to life in one of its judgment. It said that right to life also means right to education. है ना, जैसे TMI फाउंडेशन के से PN नामदार के से सब में कहा था सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने that right to life is a, for example, Supreme Court said right to marry a person of your choice, fundamental right, right to clean environment, right to clean health, right against manual scavenging and many other things, है ना. So ये सब आर्टिकल 21 में कहा. Similarly, right to education, Supreme Court said is a fundamental right. So even if the parliament would not have added any new article, still right to education would have been a fundamental right. But parliament actually decided to add a separate article under 86 constitutional amendment. Again, वही same वाला. That added 11th fundamental duty, the same article. And they inserted a separate article, Article 21 capital A, saying that from 6 to 14 years, elementary education is a fundamental right. Basic level of education is a fundamental right under Article right to education. So we have a Right to Education Act passed, and I'm sure you must be aware there are a lot of provisions with regards to actually the ones who cannot afford education. So for them, there are a lot of schemes where it's brought, etc. and all. Okay. So Article 21 है ना, capital A guarantees free and compulsory education as fundamental right to children between 6 to 14 years, and added by 86th Amendment. Okay. Next is, which of the following article talks about Uniform Civil Code, which is a DPSP? पीयूष हिटमैन, यू शुड एक्चुअली लर्न, एक्चुअली जीके में बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं इधर उधर से, आपको लगता हो कि मार्क्स में आ जाते हैं, लेकिन वो लर्निंग के लिए मोर है ना. ठीक है. राइट आंसर इज आर्टिकल 44 बी इज द राइट आंसर. ये काफी ज्यादा न्यूज में रहता है. स्टेट शैल एंडेवर टू सिक्योर citizens uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. So B is the right answer. Next, अच्छा, first state in India to have uniform civil code, क्या होगा आंसर? Very near to 100% तो यूनिफॉर्म कोई कहीं नहीं होता है. यूनिफॉर्म मतलब हर जगह, नो एक्सेप्शन, नॉट इवन एक्सक्लूडिंग ट्राइबल एरियाज एक्सेट्रा. तो वहां से यूनिफॉर्म तो कहीं नहीं है, बट रफली जो है वो गोवा में है ना. 100% यूनिफॉर्म इज हार्डली यू विल फाइंड इन एनीवेयर इन इंडिया. उत्तराखंड इज आई थिंक द सेकंड वन, बट आई थिंक देयर आर सम एक्सक्लूजन. प्लीज रीड इट. शायद ट्राइबल एरियाज वगैरह को कुछ एक्सक्लूड किया गया है. यू रीड इन डिटेल, बट फर्स्ट इज एक्चुअली गोवा, because there was a Portuguese rule beforehand, है ना. Portuguese civil code कुछ चलता है, something that's there, right? When I'm asking first, it is Goa. Okay, let's move on to the next one. You read and then answer me. So first you answer it, I'll then tell you. Impeachment is a removal process, है ना. Appointment होगा नहीं, removal यहाँ है. Removal of prime minister नहीं, removal of president is called as impeachment. ठीक है. So the last pattern that got changed in CLAT was 2020, है ना. 2020 में pattern change हुआ था. So since they changed the pattern, they gave the first sample paper. Okay. And in that sample paper, why I'm saying, because at that time Donald Trump's impeachment was in the news in USA. So they gave a passage talking about Donald Trump's impeachment process. And in that passage, there was one question: which article of the Indian Constitution talks about impeachment of President of India? What is the answer? (324) is with regards to election commission. Ruhi Verma, you are very near to the answer. 61. Yes, Dexter play, you're right. 61. Very good. Talks about impeachment of the President of India. Okay. Now, Article 61. Procedure for impeachment of the President. And what is the reason why a president can be impeached? What is the ground of impeachment? There is only one ground that is mentioned: violation of the Constitution. Okay. The President of India can be removed for violation of the Constitution. Okay. Now, this is the ground that is mentioned. Now, I am asking just one question. Is there any other post or any other position which can be removed through the process of impeachment in India? कोई और ऐसी पोस्ट है इंडिया में जिसको इम्पीचमेंट के थ्रू उस पोजीशन से हटाया जाता है? I got 24 marks in GK today due to your marks. Great, Aryan. CJ, no is the answer. Yes, the answer is no. Only in India, only the President of India is removed through the process of impeachment. Only President of India. A Supreme Court judge, a High Court judge, the Chief Election Commissioner, the Chief Justice of India, they are not removed through the process of impeachment. That process is different. The correct technical word to be used is removal, not impeachment. So when you read Article 124, I think it's there in 124 Clause 4, I think. It talks about removal of the Supreme Court judge. When you read it, the majority required is different. The procedure for removing a Supreme Court judge and the procedure of impeachment of president is different. For example, this is the majority required for impeachment of president. This is the highest number of majority required. This is not required. 2/3 of the total membership पूछा जा रहा है. Whereas in the Supreme Court removal judge, Supreme Court judge removal, it is actually 2/3 of the present and voting and half of the total. That's a different majority required. You can say the process is similar, but it is not the same. Please remember this. We use the word impeachment for president and impeachment of chief election commissioner, impeachment of Supreme Court judge, high court judge. These terms are used colloquially or in local language. Even in the Hindu editorials, we have seen the word written impeachment of Supreme Court judge. Technically, it is not correct. We have not seen any president impeached so far, Manya Tiwari. We have not seen any removal of Supreme Court or High Court judge till now. So whenever the removal portion started, the person resigned. Okay. We have not seen any impeachment of president till now. Okay. बहुत छोटी सी चीज है, बट आपको पता होना चाहिए. Next one. Ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So I'm sure this you should know, Vice President of India. And who is the Vice President of India? What should be our goal for the GK section? Happy Rise asking first. Solve all the previous year question from 2020 to 2026. This you have to do first for CLAT and last 5 years of AILET. पहले आप ये कीजिए अच्छे से properly. Then you will realize which type of questions are being asked. Vice President of India. Who is the Vice President of India, by the way? Mr. C.P. Radhakrishnan. Yes. So, and last year, who had resigned? There was a person who resigned last year around July. And in August, September, we had seen election. And now we are having Mr. C.P. Radhakrishnan as the Vice President of India. Who was the last Vice President before him? Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. Suryakant is the CJ. Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar was the former Vice President of India. He resigned last year. Okay. So Article 64 says that Vice President of India will be the ex officio chairman. Ex officio means whosoever is the vice chairman will automatically become, whosoever is the vice president will automatically become the chairman of Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha. Next is who is the Speaker of Lok Sabha. No problem, Manya Tiwari, होता है, mistake हो जाता है. It can happen. Speaker of Lok Sabha, everyone knows. उम्मीद है ना? Mr. Om Birla. B is the right answer to this question. है ना? So this is Lok Sabha and this is Rajya Sabha. So यहाँ पे जो बीच में बैठते हैं, this is actually the speaker. Now ये तो पुरानी वाली लोक सभा है. Now we have seen the new building, and here is actually the Rajya Sabha chairman who sits. He is actually the Vice President of India. ठीक है. Mr. Om Birla is the Lok Sabha speaker, and Dr. C.P. Radhakrishnan is the Vice President or Rajya Sabha chairman. ठीक है. Next is which of the following term is mentioned in the Constitution. ये भी पूछा गया था, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग, किसी एग्जाम में मैं देख रहा था एमएच सेट में, कहाँ तो कहीं पूछा गया था. In the Constitution for the term budget. Annual financial statement, article 112. Yes. So budget word nahi mention hai. The word mentioned is annual financial statement. The president shall in every aspect cause to be laid down. Who causes to be laid down? So the answer is president. Who presents the budget? Finance minister. But who caused to be laid down before the parliament? किसके कारण होता है? कौन साइन करके देते? President actually is the one. है ना? And it's called as annual financial statement. The term budget is not mentioned anywhere. ठीक है? Okay, that is what you should be knowing. अच्छा, इसका नाम कभी सुना आपने? Have you ever heard about Consolidated Fund of India? Anyone? There are three funds: Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India, and Public Accounts of India. को सुना है कभी किसने? थोड़ा सा हाई लेवल का, maybe it might not be for CLAT, है ना? When you prepare for commerce में, okay, ठीक है, हाँ. I'm skipping it because this is slightly difficult. I hope this will not be asked at the CLAT level. ठीक है. Which of the following article talks about money bill? Salaries of judges are drawn from Consolidated Fund of India. Great, very good. चलो मैं एक सवाल पूछूंगा कंसोलिडेटेड फंड से जब बात आ गई तो. Talks about money bill is article 110 is the right answer, है ना? So definition of money bill, why it is special? So it talks about imposition, abolition of bill, money related matter, है ना? जिसको हम एक लाइन में कहेंगे money related matter, heritage relation. अच्छा एक चीज पूछो, have you ever read that since we are talking about it, Consolidated Fund of India, so salaries of the Supreme Court judges comes from Consolidated Fund of India. Or there are two types of payment, है ना? One is called as charged expenditure from Consolidated Fund of India, and another is called as uncharged expenditure. ये जानते हो आप? So salaries of Supreme Court judges is charged expenditure or uncharged expenditure in Consolidated Fund of India. You know what is this? Actually, this is slightly difficult. वो शायद आप लोग के लिए नहीं हो, थोड़ा high level का है. Slightly. It is actually a, let me see. इसका हुआ था शायद एक बार. Okay. Charged. What is the meaning of charged expenditure? Yes, it is charged. Charged expenditure means it does not require voting in the parliament. Whereas uncharged expenditure requires voting in the parliament. You have to pass the bill, money bill, to extract money from the Consolidated Fund of India. अगर उस खजाने से पैसा निकालना है तो आपको money bill pass करना होगा. But in case of charged expenditure, you are not supposed to pass any bill. Why it is there? Because the salaries of the Supreme Court judges should not be dependent on parliament. Let's say Supreme Court passed an order, Anna, against a law passed by the parliament. Next year, parliament will say, I will not pass the bill for your salary. To ensure independence, yes, very good. Automatically उनको पैसा मिले, ऐसा नहीं है. Salary should be automatic. It should not be charged. कि next day parliament will say कि they are very much dependent on parliament. ठीक है, इसके बारे में यहाँ से हम और डिस्कशन करेंगे. We will discuss, start from here discussion, because there is something special with regards to this. ठीक है, so in the next class, है ना? So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.